Hello, my name's Blossoms and welcome to another Genshin Impact video, and today we're showing off my Electro Keqing. I have been building her for a little while and I was actually going to make this video yesterday, and then I realized that I didn't farm out any talent books, and so I had to go ahead and do that today on Sunday where I could get any talent book I want, but now that her talents are up, she's hitting even harder, and I'm even more excited to show her off to you guys. But wait, are you subscribed? You could be. It's a quick click below and I deeply appreciate the support. We just rounded 700 and I'm extremely excited to continue bringing more content to you guys as we slowly but surely become a professional. Anyway, on to the actual build. So to start off, we'll go over her general stats. Yes, she's level 69, the optimal level. And when we go to the details here, you see I've got some pretty solid crit rate and crit damage. Not as much energy recharge as I might like from some substats, and then we have a little bit of electro bonus damage going in here. All pretty nice stuff. I'd say the only thing I'd really want to change here is probably getting a little bit more crit rate, as that's going to guarantee my DPS just to be a little bit more consistent. As for constellations, I have her at C0, so don't worry, we're not worrying about any of that stuff. And then on to the talents, I have 6, 5, and 5. I wanted to get all of them to 6, but it was a little costly on the resin side, so I decided that 5 and 5 was good enough. The most important one is certainly the normal attack, as that is where most of your damage is going to be coming from. Obviously, these are good sources of damage. I would say all of these are equally valuable. It's just the normal attack does edge out a little bit on these two in terms of priority of leveling up, but the skill and the elemental burst are both very important as they are good sources of damage, and you get both of them a lot, as the elemental burst has a low cooldown and low energy cost, and you'll honestly be seeing yourself using Stellar Restoration to get the electro buff quite often for your normal attacks. And then for the part you all care about, the artifacts here, we are running the 4-piece of the Thunder Soother. Now, I've heard from a lot of Keqing mains that this is the best set, and I gotta say, I have to agree. I was testing out some of my official artifacts on her with the Thundering Fury, and it wasn't bad. You could easily do something like the 2-piece Thundering Fury and the 2-piece Gladiator, or you could go, like 2-piece Gladiator, 2-piece Physical, if that's what you're really wanting to do. You could go Physical Keqing, but this is Electro Keqing. Anyway, so yeah, I've farmed out some good artifacts here. I got them all to level 16, except for the flower. It's at level 12. I know, how could I? But I did get fairly lucky on them. Like, I got some good crit rate here and some good crit damage. And on the flower here, it all went into attack percent, so that's good as well. And things like the attack thing here also went into crit damage. And I did get a really good electro damage bonus cup where it all went into attack. I wish a little bit went into crit rate, but I can't complain too much. And then I obviously have a random crit damage mask here, as I am running a crit rate sword, and we'll go over that in just a second. You're also going to be wanting attack percent here, electro damage bonus, and crit damage. Obviously, if you're going for physical Keqing, then physical damage cup, and pretty much the same exact gear here is going to work exactly fine for you, as she just applies electro so much and so well that the 4-piece Thunder Soother is going to be good on her even if you're doing physical damage. So yeah, just to recap, I think this is hands down the best set for her, as it allows her to do 35% additional damage to things affected by electro. I think one of the best pairings for her are people like Xingqiu or Barbara. Getting those electro charged comps are probably going to be your best bet with an electro build Keqing. However, you could easily run her in an overload comp or a superconduct comp if you're going physical. Those will work just as well. I will do a physical build Keqing video as well whenever I get a crit damage helmet in the Thunder Soother category, as I have a really good physical damage cup and I really want to test that out as well on her. So I will be testing that out whenever. But enough of that, moving on to the weapon. We're using the Black Sword here, and I think hands down the Black Sword is probably the best weapon for Keqing in terms of 4 stars. Obviously 5 stars are probably going to beat it out in some way or another, but I really like the Black Sword here, the Battle Pass weapon, just because it not only gives you crit rate, which is incredibly valuable as always, but it also increases your normal and charged attack damage by 20%, which is huge considering that's where most of your damage is going to be coming from. Now, you could easily go for some other options here. I definitely think they're a bit weaker. You could go with something like the Flute, that's going to be giving you more attack, and you're going to be getting a little bit of extra damage from its passive. And, you know, you could also go with something like the Black Cliff Sword that gives the crit damage substat. I don't have it right now, but that one's a pretty solid option as well. However, I think the Black Sword is probably still going to be one of your best bets. There's also the Lion's Roar. That one also gives you some additional damage to enemies affected by, I believe, Pyro or Electro. And that one's a really good option for her as well, but I think hands down the Black Sword is going to be the best. And for those of you that are free to play and looking for other options, you could go for something like Prototype Rancor. However, then you're definitely going to be leaning into a physical build, not an Electro build. But you could also go with the Fillet Blade, which is basically a 3-star flute, and it's literally pretty much the same thing as just a 3-star, so you will be having less attack, which could be a problem. Anyway, overall, I've been really enjoying this Keqing build so far. She's an absolute blast to play, and she does really solid damage, and she fits really well into Electro Charge comps, which are some of my favorite in the game. I can't wait till we get a couple more units, and I can put her in a couple of those teams, as Keqing is really versatile, and that's one of the best aspects about her. If you're building her for the Electro build, you can easily just swap to her, apply Electro real quick, swap out, and you're not really losing anything. She's very versatile and can fit into a lot of teams as an Electro applier, and I absolutely love that about her, so I'm probably going to be putting her in a lot of teams moving forward. Alright, so first off, we'll go ahead and bully the Pyro Regisvine real quick. I'm not going to pull any really fancy tricks here, I just kind of want you guys to get an understanding of how well she actually, you know, deals damage. And this like kind of a little Electro comp. I'm probably going to be using Albedo a bit here too. Get a little additional damage with her and Xing Shou, and just kind of show that off to you guys. And you can see that she does pretty solid damage all on her own, and then along with the others is definitely helping. And her burst here does some pretty solid damage as well, especially on that last slash. That's definitely the most valuable part. And you see we did really solid damage to the Pyro Regisvine, and we weren't really doing any fancy setups. Alright, so I just wanted to show off a little bit in the Spiral Abyss as well, just kind of give you guys an idea how this build can perform in here as well. And as you can see, it definitely isn't having too much of a trouble in the higher end content like this. We're only on floor 9, but if I'm being honest, I haven't done much Spiral Abyss yet. This is actually my first encounter in here. And I noticed that there's these little things here that I probably should be protecting a bit more. And as you can see, Keqing here is a really solid option in here. She's doing a really good job. However, for this particular floor, you might want to go with a physical build one. And the nice part about this particular build that I've set up is that once I get a crit damage helmet there, I'm actually going to be able to go ahead and just swap over to the physical damage cup whenever I want. And that's actually going to just allow me to swap between those two cups and not really have to worry about swapping over a bunch of other artifacts just for an entirely different build, like I might have to if I were going with a split set piece bonus. But this one is really strong, and I really like the way it operates, and I would highly recommend it to you guys. Overall, I've got to admit, Keqing is really fun, and I'm really enjoying this build. And as I said, I definitely want to increase her crit rate a little bit more, and obviously some more crit damage can't hurt, and I'm sure those will come with some more artifact grinding. But for now, this build is doing absolutely fine, and I'm going to be shoving her into plenty of teams, probably going to be messing around with her and Child, seeing how an Electro Charge build can go with the two of them, using her as like a sub DPS. I'm sure that would be really darn fun. But overall, let me know what you guys thought of the video too. I'd appreciate your comments below. My name's Blossoms, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.